Hi everyone, my name is Liat, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a light-up wearable skirt using the BBC MicroBit. For this project, you will need the BBC MicroBit with either a battery pack that can connect to the back of it, or a AAA battery pack that takes 2 batteries. You will also need a strip of Neopixels, a battery pack with 3 AA batteries, as well as 3 alligator clips in 3 different colors. The Neopixel strip that I bought came with a connector so you can easily detach the batteries. You don't have to buy something like this, but it does make it easier if you ever need to change the battery pack. Now that you have all of your equipment ready, it's time to start building our skirt. So for this, you need to measure out how many Neopixels you need. For mine to fit across the base of my skirt, I need 123 Neopixels, which I have attached to Velcro at the bottom to make it easily removable from the skirt. We now need to start connecting our cables. The connector that came with my Neopixels has got 3 wires attached to it, a red, a green, and a white. I have used a little bit of copper tape to connect the white cable to the black cable that attaches to the battery pack. You don't need to use the copper tape, but I found it easier just to keep everything in place. The first alligator clip that I'm going to start with is my red one. I'm using the red alligator clip because I'm going to be connecting 2 red cables together, so I'm going to be able to see easily where they are. I'm going to start with the red cable connecting to the red one coming out of my AA battery pack, and I'm going to connect that to the red cable from my Neopixel strip over here. The 2 should connect like so you should easily have 1 red cable connecting to the other. Next, I'm going to connect the yellow alligator clip to the green wire on my Neopixel strip, so that it should connect like that. The second part of the alligator clip is going to connect to pin 1 on the MicroBit, so that it should connect like so. The last alligator clip that I'm going to use is my grey one, and I'm going to connect to one end of that to the 2 wires that I connected earlier using the copper tape. That's the black wire from the battery pack and the grey wire from my Neopixel strip. So I've used copper tape to connect them. You can connect them using the alligator clip, but I find that it just holds it in place a little bit better. The other end of that alligator clip is going to connect onto the ground pin on my MicroBit, like so. And that's all the cabling we are going to be doing for our Neopixel skirt. To code my Neopixel skirt, I'm going to use the Make Code website. The first thing that we need to do is add in our Neopixel package. We do that by clicking on Advanced, choosing Add Package, and then picking the Neopixel package. You'll see now over here that all of our Neopixel code has appeared on the side. The first block that I'm going to need to use is this Neopixel at P0. I'm going to drag this one out to my workspace over here. I'm also going to change it from P0 to P1 because that's where we've grounded our pin. And I'm going to change it from 24 LEDs to 123 because that's how many I need to wrap around the base of my skirt. Next, I need to add in a variable. The variable that I need is setItem2, and I'm going to drag that to onStart. I'm then going to put my Neopixel at pin 1 to the end of that item. Now you will see on the side over here that my Neopixels have appeared at the bottom. I'm also going to delete this forever block because I'm not going to need it for my code. Next, I need to set the brightness of my Neopixels. The Neopixels come out very, very bright. So I'm going to click on Neopixel over here, click on More, and I'm going to choose Set Brightness, and I'm going to change that number down to 50. 50 is still very bright, but you can play around with the brightness if you want it to be a little bit brighter or a little bit more dull as well. Now we're going to add in a new input. The input tells us how our code is going to start. I want my lights to turn on when the MicroBit is shaken, so I'm going to drag the On Shake into my workspace over here. I also want the MicroBit to show a picture when the lights start to turn on. To do that, I'm going to go to Basic, and I'm going to click on Show Icon. You can then pick any icon you want. I'm going to stick with the heart. I'm now going to choose the colours that I want my Neopixels to show. To do this, we go back to Neopixel, and I'm going to show the rainbow because I want all the colours to come out on my skirt. Now I want the lights to move in a pattern along the skirt so that it looks like the rainbow is moving around. To do this, I'm going to need to put in a loop, and I want to repeat my lights going around 100 times so that it makes almost a full circle going around. Now to make the lights look like they are moving, I need to rotate the pixels. To do this, we go back to Neopixel, and we're going to rotate the pixels by 1. Next, we need to add in the show block. So back in our Neopixel section, we click on show, and we're going to drag this in here. Now we also want to put in a pause from the basic section over here. This will mean that our lights will show, they'll wait a little bit, and then they'll move on. You can change the speed of how quickly the Neopixels move around by changing this number over here next to the pause. I'm going to leave it at 100. Once our loop is finished, we want the lights on the MicroBit and the Neopixels to both turn off. To do this, we're going to go to Basic, click on More, and choose Clear Screen. We want to put this underneath our loop. With this block, the MicroBit will then turn off, so our heart will disappear, once our loop has finished. In order to turn off the Neopixels, we need 2 blocks. We need the clear block, which we're going to put underneath the clear screen, and we need the show block as well. Now we can test out our code to make sure that it all works. To do this, we're going to click on Shake to act as if the MicroBit has been shaken. You can see that the heart appears on the screen, and the Neopixels look as though they are moving down. At the end of the code, so once it's repeated 100 times, our lights turn off and the heart disappears from the top of the MicroBit as well. Once you're happy with your code and you've checked that it works, you can download the code onto the MicroBit. Once the code is on the MicroBit, we can turn all of our battery packs on, and we can test out the code on the Neopixels themselves. Now that my battery packs are plugged in, I'm going to shake the MicroBit, the heart appears, and you can see here that the lights are slowly changing colour and are moving down the strip of Neopixels. You can see that even though I've changed the brightness setting to 50, it's still very light. And once my code has finished repeating, the heart turns off on the MicroBit and the lights on the Neopixels have turned off. Now I can wrap the Neopixels around the skirt to make sure that it all works when connected. Make sure that the Neopixels are not twisted or the lights won't work as well. Before trying the skirt on, make sure that everything is very well connected. I've used Velcro to hide the battery packs inside the skirt, and I used the safety pin to connect the MicroBit to the top of the skirt. Once you're sure that everything is very securely fastened, you can very carefully put the skirt on to try it and see if it works.